Two live streams one day. Two live streams within hours of one another. Fuck yeah. Put me on the big screen. Come on. Come on, get BC up on the big screen here. Come on, I want to go live. BC wants to go live. Oh, here I am. Hello. Talk about getting people off guard. Let me hear playback. Hold on, guys. I got to do some playback. All right. Check 1, 2, motherfucker. Check 1, 2. Amp status. All right. Pretty good. Pretty good. I can hear myself. Hopefully you guys can too, man. What up, everybody? Yo, right from the jump, man. This is incredible, man. When I don't even say a word and there's coffees waiting for BC, man. Like Justin Jones, 2-spot for the unit with some fire emojis. Justin Jones, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the coffee. I didn't even get going yet. And Justin Jones is up in here with a coffee for BC. And Papo Jr. Papo didn't make the last one, I don't believe, a few hours ago. I just put up the Raw review. That was a live stream. Oh, 2 hours, bro. Papo Jr. up in here with a couple of coffees. Tony should have at least promoted the all-women show for NWA since his AEW women wrestlers were a part of that show as well. Should we get an all-women show in AEW? No. This company is only 2 years old. I agree with everything, Papo. There's no way AEW can do an all-women show right now. It's not the time. Keep building. You got Serena Deeb, you got Britt Baker, you got Thunder Rosa. Jade Cargill is up on the... she's fucking the momentum. She's carrying it on her shoulders, the big delts. So you got a good foundation started. Now keep adding. Ruby Soho was a great addition. Couple more puzzle pieces. Maybe in the future if you want to do that. But no, now is not the fucking time. But you're right, Papo Jr. He could have done a little bit more to promote his own people. But he put in the deal for NWA that he wanted them to do all the promotion. And when they didn't, Tony got pissed off. But Papo Jr., no lies detected, man. Great to have you up in here. Thank you for the coffees, brother. So Papo Jr. and Justin Jones with a coffee waiting for BC before I even went live. That's respect, bro. For those of you that don't know, a few hours ago, I put up the Raw review that was live. I had to do some business, get another couple of coffees, and here we are a couple hours later with the second live of the day, man. Something caught my eye from a comment from the last video, and it was from Rocco, who's always showing the love and support. And Rocco said something about BC, the hardest worker, something like that. Excuse me if I butchered that. And it got me thinking, like, I am the fucking hardest worker. So you know what? I think the hardest worker should be putting out a second live stream in one fucking day. So let's fucking do that. Let's get amplified. What up, everybody? Again, man, I know this is as impromptu as it gets, late evening, hours after I just went live, so I probably deked my own unit. They thought I was done for the day, and here I am right back. But there's a few topics I want to talk about for those that are here and for the thousands that'll catch this later and go, what? BC went live twice? Sorry, guys. You know how I run, man. War Dog's up in here, though, for my tried and choose. What up, dog? Carlos! Carlos caught that, man. NJPW. All right, so a lot of my fucking tried and trues ended up catching it. Renee G. I'm telling you guys, man, I'm going to deke out some of my own unit. I don't want to do that, of course, but I just got this wild idea to go live. There's some things I want to talk about. And I want to start off right from the jump, man, with Charlotte Flair. And Carlos, again, brother. That fitty banger earlier in that last review. Carlos, much love and appreciation, man. Don't even get BC another coffee here, man. I will not allow it. I appreciate it, dude. So Charlotte Flair recently asked about these reports that we've heard over the last week plus about her being difficult to work with, right? And the animosity between her and Becky Lynch and how people are now looking at Charlotte like she thinks she's better than everybody else. So this is what Charlotte said. And listen to this, please, man, because this is utter bullshit. It's not shade to Charlotte, but it's bullshit if you listen to this. She's basically using the gender card. And when she was done with this statement, Becky Lynch ended up firing back. And I'm glad she did. But this is what Charlotte says. You guys ready for this? Hold on. Here we go. Charlotte says this about reports saying she's difficult to work with. And I quote from Charlotte. It obviously does rub people the wrong way. But if I was a man, would it rub people the wrong way? No one ever looks at a man and goes, why does he want to be world champion again? Well, he's been on top for all these years. Is it because I'm a woman? Is it because I've done it all? Because we have a smaller division? Why? Charlotte's difficult? Why? Because I stand up for what I believe in? That makes me difficult? But if I was a man, I'd have big balls, right? No. I know how good I am. Man or woman, I am the best. Now, there's so much to unpack here. First of all, she says it's because, well, he's been on top for all the... Is it because I'm a woman? Is it because I've done it all? Because we have a smaller division? Why? Because I stand up for what I believe in? That makes me difficult? And she says it's only because she's a woman. Bray Wyatt stood in for what he believed in, and he's fired! So don't give me that gender bullshit. You still have a job. Bray Wyatt stood up for everything that he thought he should be getting. Everything that was wrong, he stood up against. And he found his way into the unemployment line. And now we want to use the gender card. Come on, brah. You still have a job. Bray is a dude. Last I checked, the dude's got balls, correct? He got fired. He got released because he was difficult to work with. He wasn't a woman. So right there, it's flatlined. The whole defense is bullshit, but I'm not going to stop there. She started it off with, but if I was a man, would it rub people the wrong way? Question mark. No one ever looks at a man and goes, why does he want to be world champion again? As if that's a problem. Roman Reigns for 5 years, Charlie. Charlie, for 5 years, we were calling Roman's bullshit. Not just Joanna Y, but Vince McMahon's booking of Joanna Y, Roman Reigns. We've been saying for 5 years, no, we don't want to see this motherfucker with the title again. Turn him heel. Then we can talk about championships. Charlie, what are you fucking talking about? I don't understand what she is talking about. She's just using the gender card because that's the thing to do in 2021. You know I'm telling the fucking truth here. What pisses me off is if there was some truth to it, then you can play the card. But if you're just going to play the card and not look at the facts... Roman Reigns, you look at the 5 years BC has had this channel, I've been flipping out about the booking of Roman Reigns. Before he turned heel, we were nauseated by how many times he was in the main event and going for championships and actually champion. We were nauseated. So how is that just Charlie? How did she forget about fucking Roman for 5 years, man? How did she forget about Bray Wyatt, who got fired? Bray Wyatt got kicked to the curb. Bray Wyatt got released because he was difficult to deal with. Charlie still has a job. So if it's a gender card, wouldn't it be against the men right now? He was difficult to deal with, so Bray got the boot. Charlie gets to keep her job. Maybe you could say it's because she's a woman she got to keep her job. I'm not seeing how the fuck this works. You want to use the gender card, but when Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin back in the day were deemed difficult to work with, that literally plagues them to this day. Do you realize that Steve Austin to this day says the one thing he wishes he could take back was when he took his ball and went home in scenarios like that, because he says he never fully got over from that. Forget all the money he left on the table. He feels that the business, the industry never really looked at him the same way after. Shawn Michaels, when he was deemed difficult to work with, that is literally a plague on his career to this day. So you can't say that it's just a woman thing. Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels would like to have a word with you. You can't say that it's because you're difficult to work with and you're a woman that you're getting this heat, because Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda would like to have a word with you. You can't say that, why does everybody complain because I'm getting more championships? It wouldn't happen if it's a dude, because Roman Reigns, Joanna Y would like a word with you. Need I really keep going? I don't want to keep going because Ashley Flair is actually a sweetheart in real life. I would like to think maybe she did change for the worse. Maybe that's why people like Becky Lynch and such do not speak to her. Maybe she let the ego get to her dome piece. But Ashley Flair used to be a damn sweetheart. Charlotte Flair used to be the asshole, and I'm okay with that. The booking needed to be rectified 1,000,000 times over. But we never hated Ashley Flair. We hated Charlotte Flair's booking. Charlotte Flair's. But if this is how she's truly going to play this game and she's going to start talking about genders and that's why people have a problem with Charlotte Flair's booking, and that's why those in the locker room, they have a problem with Charlotte and they deem her difficult to work with. And she's saying it's because she's a woman. Well, doesn't Becky Lynch have a little bit of animosity with Charlotte? They're not clicking. That was one time a good friend of hers. Why is Becky no longer a good buddy? Bayley and Sasha, why ain't they good buddies anymore? Something tells me that in that locker room, they're seeing a different Charlotte Flair, maybe a different Ashley Flair. So maybe it has nothing to do with gender. Maybe she's just becoming an egotistical jackass. Maybe. Who knows? We're not in the locker room. But to say what she said, man, I'm honestly astonished that we went to the gender card for being difficult to work with after Wyndham Rotunda just lost his job for being difficult to work with. This statement holds no fucking validity. None. I'll repeat it for those in the back. This is what Charlotte says about being difficult to work with. It obviously rubs people the wrong way. But if I was a man, would it rub people the wrong way? No one ever looks at a man and goes, why does he want to be world champion again? Like it's a problem. Roman Reigns, we did it for 5 years. Bullshit, Charlie. Well, he's been on top for all these years. It must be because I'm a woman. Is it because I've done it all? Because we have a smaller division? Why? Charlotte's difficult. Why? Because I stand up for what I believe in? That makes me difficult? If I was a man, they'd say I have big balls, right? No. Because Wyndham Rotunda wants a word with you. Wyndham Rotunda's a dude who got canned because he was difficult to work with. Don't play that shit. I know how good I am, man or woman. I am the best. Now, Becky Lynch responded to this. Becky says this, and I quote, "No one on our roster acts like this," meaning the way Charlotte is responding to this answer in this interview. "No one on our roster acts like this, man or woman. Gender ain't the issue here." I love Becky for standing right the fuck up and saying gender has jack shit to do about this. I don't care if that's just a fucking fill a storyline that is non-existent for their Survivor Series match or not. For Becky Lynch to call out Charlotte's response like that, badass. Thank you, Becky. Because she's right. Gender is not the issue here. Salute to Becky. Again, Becky's response to this asinine statement is no one on our roster acts like this, man or woman. Gender ain't the issue. So they're basically saying that it's her ego. It's this I'm the best and better than everyone else, so I get to treat them differently. And as a fan, that's the locker room, right? That's the locker room. Becky Lynch is responding for them. As a fan, if Charlotte is really wondering what our problem is with her booking, it's the fact that everybody gets stifled because of it. Same thing why we never really got behind John Cena as a whole. The whole fan base never really got behind Cena because we knew there was a golden shovel involved. With Charlie Flair, people like Asuka cannot get her just due. Even when Asuka was a champion, do you remember what she had to do when Charlie came back from her hiatus? Asuka, they ditched Lana, who Asuka had to hold her hand. They ditched Lana, and then they inserted Charlie so she could get a rub from Asuka. So Asuka, even though she was the champion, had to play second fiddle to Charlotte Flair. While Charlotte got all the storylines, Asuka was used as the mule to get stepped on by Charlie in her booking. And then in just a matter of 2 months, Charlie was champion again. I'm just using Asuka as an example, guys. How many people got stifled because this one person who never really connected with the fan base, the audience, kept getting opportunity after opportunity. The same problem we had with Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns has balls, Charlie. I don't think he's got a JJ. Possibly, who knows? Personal preference on everybody. Who knows what the fuck the dude's got? But I'm pretty sure he identifies man status. Okay, so we said the same thing with Roman's booking. Cut the shit. You don't connect. When he was a face, he didn't connect. Yet every fucking other month he was becoming champion or in a big main event or being shoved down our throats. Until you book him properly, which finally happened this year, you're not going to see the best of what you have. Until you are booked properly, Charlie, and you keep thinking this is a gender problem and this is why we have an issue with you, or the ladies in that locker room have an issue with you because you're a female, even though last I checked, even though she calls herself the Man, last I checked, she's a female. Last I checked, Sasha Banks and Bayley and Liv Morgan and Carmella and Zelina Vega, they're all females. But maybe they don't like you because you're a female. Maybe. Who the fuck knows? Maybe that's what it is. I don't like the fact that in 2021, we're just using these cards now to get out of a jam. So Charlie wants to get out of a jam. I'm difficult to work with. The fans don't connect with me. Is it because I am difficult to work with and I have an ego? Is it because my booking is bad? Or is all of that bullshit and it's just because I'm a woman? Yeah, that's what it is. Your booking is prestigious. You have no ego whatsoever. It's the fans' fault for not seeing the glory in you. It's the locker room it's their fault they don't see the glory in you. It's because you're a woman. Why didn't we think of that the whole past 5 years you've been on the main roster? We were just ignorant, I guess. It's absolute bullshit to use that card in 2021 just to use it. Because I'm telling you what you're going to do is if that is actually a case, in some situation, you're actually bringing that down to where it's not going to be believable when it is an actual fact. You're actually hurting people that need to use that for justified reasons. It's the boy that cried wolf. You say it, 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 and before you know it, it's a real thing and nobody fucking turns the other way. Nobody believes the shit. I can't believe that fucking answer, guys. I'll move on because this was actually supposed to be a half an hour fucking vid. Becky responded. That's that, man. Thank you guys for joining me on this bonus live stream, man. 2 live streams within like 4 or 5 hours. This is fucking awesome. I got the idea earlier and I was just like, fuck, let's keep rocking, bro. Let's be the machine in the community. Let's do a BC bonus vid live stream, baby. Let's be the machine. The fucking community machine. I also want to talk about, you want to go FTR talking about Tony Kahn? Let's do that, man. FTR responded to some criticism of AEW's Tony Kahn recently, and FTR doesn't feel that Tony is getting the credit that he deserves. They even called him a creative genius. This is what they actually said, and I quote, this is FTR talking about Tony Kahn. I don't think he'll watch this, so I don't give a damn, but Tony does not get the credit that he deserves right now for being, and it's overused, but a creative genius. He loves professional wrestling. The best thing about this company is that he's not afraid of that word, wrestling. I think in a few years, people are going to look back and say, man, he really is smart. He really knows what he's doing, and he's got a knack for telling stories and putting matches together, and the whys and the hows. He's really great. You go on to say, I don't think he gets the credit he deserves, but I think he will. The world just seems like it can be so cynical sometimes. We talk about it all the time. It's like an echo chamber. It can be cynical. It can be a cynical echo chamber, and not all the time, sometimes. But some amazing things come from social media, but sometimes it can be a sounding board of negativity. I think right now people are combating. Some people love it, some people hate it, and they just want to clash. They want to attach to something that a large majority of people are vocal about. I think I don't even know the full details. They don't look into it. They regurgitate information or they just move the goalposts. They keep saying he can't do something and he does. Then it's like, well, it's only because he can't do this. It's going to keep happening and he's going to, as far as I am concerned, he's going to keep delivering and the company is going to be around for a long time succeeding. Then finally the respect will come. So this is high praise for Tony Kahn, man. And I want to say everybody's going to look at this differently, this Tony Kahn story, guys. And a lot of people are now speaking up, especially recently with the comments that everybody is talking about Tony Kahn talking about the all-women's pay-per-view and how he switched gears to NWA, and everyone's got their own way of looking at that response. I'm going to say this about Tony Kahn, and this is in the eye of the beholder, but this is BC's live stream. You guys are listening to my words right now. Tony Kahn and I don't want to make this sound cheesy, but he has actually saved professional wrestling in 2021 for people like BC, because WWE has been so bad this year that we were literally collectively ready to put our dome pieces through the first brick wall that we came across. Tony Khan came along with AEW, and some of the best moments this year was actually from Tony Khan's promotion, AEW. Tony Khan was delivering moments and superstars and matches that we've been craving. Whether it was done perfectly or not, that's in the eye of the beholder, but absolutely Tony Khan deserves credit. You'd be foolish to think not unless you just hate AEW fully. Then, of course, you're just going to trash Tony Khan. I get it. I don't get it, but I do get it. Because you just fucking hate Tony Khan and AEW. So you're going to trash it. But there's no doubt he deserves the utmost credit. I think what a lot of fans are trying to say in this recent interview he did with this lady who asked about the all women's pay-per-view in AEW, which again, they should not be doing. They're nowhere close to doing an all women's pay-per-view. But the way he answered that, it got people thinking. There's been a plethora of answers that Tony Khan has given over the last several months alone where people are like, oh shit, this dude needs a PR guy. Like, maybe he should not have said that. Maybe he needs to chill on that. Maybe this isn't best for his promotion. Maybe this is adding added pressure to his wrestlers. Like when he said, we're going to beat Vince McMahon, basically. I can't wait to beat you next Friday in a half-an-hour slot. And they obviously got beat, and it's unnecessary pressure. And people were just raising questions. I can speak. They were raising questions. So it wasn't that they were discrediting Tony Khan. BC was even asking the questions. Should the guy have a PR guy a little bit more? Should it be utilized? Should Tony Khan maybe not do as many interviews? Because he's not the best at them. I love sincerity. I love somebody who's speaking their truth. Trust me. But I want to see Tony Khan and AEW reach epic proportions. And every time these stories come out that kind of juggle and misconceive things, misconceptions, and they juggle the truth and they put all this public opinion out to the forefront that maybe is shading and clouding what we should be talking about, like an awesome AEW Dynamite, but instead we're talking about Tony Khan's comments. It's clouding everything. We don't need to do that, man. Tony Khan has the best promotion right now. Let's be honest, as far as actual wrestling, stories, shit we give a fuck about. So there's certain things. I think that's the problem that FTR is not understanding. People like BC, we're giving him the utmost. We love what Tony Khan is doing. We thank that son of a bitch. Can we have some more, please? But we're also kind of concerned. We're looking out for Tony. Because this is just the beginning of this. Was just the last several months he's been putting his foot in his mouth. There's going to be one big time where it's totally going to shade the things we should be talking about that are great in AEW. We don't want it to get to that point. I mean, isn't there a middle ground for all of us? Like, we can love Tony Khan and what he's doing and be thankful, but we can also say, dude, not as many interviews, please. I think there's a middle ground. I think that's just what people are saying. It's leaving a lot of room for talk and chatter, and everybody's conflicting on how they feel about shit. We all can agree. No, AEW should not be doing a women's pay-per-view anytime in the near future, even if they do. But we all can agree that he did not answer that the right fucking way, bro. I mean, he didn't even answer the question, swerved it over to the NWA, totally took a shit on them, acted like he was a rich, conceited bastard. And Carlos, I'm not getting into it, man. I love you, brother. We're not going to get into it again. It's in the eye of the beholder. But we all love Tony Khan. But the fact that that was a big focal pointed discussion when it didn't need to be, can we limit that? Right? I mean, these are the answers that Tony Khan has to relax on. There's no need to go on social and say, hey, Vince, I'm going to beat you next week. Can't wait. I've been waiting for this. Maybe there's no need for that. Keep building your rampage, bro. Because you're adding pressure on your poor wrestlers. And then after you get beat by Vince, which ended up happening, bro, it looks stupid now. So we're just saying maybe don't do that. You can make the argument that's the reason we love Tony, though. He's a fucking wild basket of who the fuck knows what he's going to say. It's why you love BC, right? But I don't own a fucking multi-billion-dollar wrestling company, or I'm not worth $8 or $9 billion. like him and Pops. That's the issue, man. Tony has he's got his hands deep into AEW right now and everything, creatively and just everything. He doesn't need to be causing a stir on social or in interviews. Let other people do that. So I just hope that FTR understands. People like BC, everybody's their own. Maybe people just don't like Tony and they're going to trash him. Maybe people don't like AEW, they're going to trash it. But FTR needs to know, people like BC, we love the dude. Everything we say and critique is because we love the dude. We want to see shit not be talked about in a wrong way or not be misconstrued. You know what I mean? We're trying to help. We still want Tony to be Tony and do interviews and be himself, but one too many times, Tony is becoming the focal point, not in a positive way. So we're just saying, like, maybe get a PR guy, man. Everybody has a PR guy in a high status situation. It just helps you. But there's no reason that for so many shows that are actually good, it's overshadowed by, oh boy, what did fucking Tony say? And I feel like I've had to do that 4 times in the last 5 or 6 months at least. So FTR, I agree with them, man. Some people don't give him the credit when they don't even watch the shows. And they would see if they just watch the shows that he cares more than Vincent Kennedy does about WWE. But I also agree with those people that say, dude, Tony needs to chill just a little bit. So I think there's common ground. I think once Tony Khan keeps doing his thing, relax a little bit, shuts up a little bit more, I think that respect, as FTR said, is going to come. So great discussion, man. Or I hope it was in the chat as well. Because I think I think I speak for most people when I say we love what Tony Khan is doing. And we don't want to fucking have these stories where Tony Khan just comes across like a fucking jackass. That story, whether you agreed with it or not, we respected his point of view more so than the lady that was in the interview felt that he was set up. Whatever the deal, we can all admit he didn't answer that in any good limelight. Nothing good came from that answer. So I agree with FTR, man. The dude is... I would want him as a boss. He's not doing anything that I haven't seen him fucking... a far cry from what... Imagine being FTR and having Vince McMahon as your boss and then going to Tony Khan. Yeah, that's like night and day, bro. Cody, man, if I can move on. Cody has deactivated his social. I'm hearing at least his Twitter is what I am reading. Now, I'm not big on social, as you guys know. I have them, but I'm not big on it. So I don't know. I haven't clicked on a Cody page or anything, but I'm hearing that he has deactivated his social, at least his Twitter, and his reasoning that he gave Busted Open. I believe that's another podcast with LaGreca and maybe Bully still. But the reasoning he gave is because basically it's a cesspool still. Same thing I remember from years ago. I love when I hear that now, man. I think when people spend less time on social, especially these wrestlers, they are going to have so much mental clarity, A, and B, they can progress storylines much better. I would hate to grow up in the 80s and 90s and be watching storylines and larger-than-life wrestlers and then go on social where the wall is broken down, no more kayfabe, the curtain is pulled back, and there's Cody, right? Cody is in this big thing with Malachi. He just got beat up. You think he's destroyed. He's going to be in a fucking hospital bed for the next 2 months, and here he is on social that same night going out to dinner with Brandi Rhodes. I don't want to see that shit. So I'm glad social didn't exist when I was growing up watching wrestling, man, because I don't know if you can ever put that curtain back in place. I love how Cody has taken off his social, and he says it's because it's a cesspool of just negativity, and he just doesn't want to deal with it anymore. I think he's still going to do the Insta. I think that's what I read, but social is just one of those things where everybody just wants their opinion heard. Everybody just wants their opinion heard. And that's with any platform, I know. I see it when I put out videos and stuff, and I could do a 2-hour stream. And after it's put up, instead of going, wow, BC, man, thank you for the 2 hours. Man, not all of you guys, some of you guys, man, Carlos, Jer9, and so many of you guys say thank you afterwards. And BC, what a stream. And that means the world to me. But sometimes you get the people, there's no BC, thanks for the 2 hours, man. BC, awesome job. Or BC, I agree with you because of this. Oh, when you were talking about this, I agree, BC. No, out of 2 hours, you get the jackasses that say, I disagree with this, Spacely. Out of 2 hours, the one comment you're going to have is a disagreement. Everybody wants to be heard these days. Everybody wants to be fucking heard. Relax. Everybody has to follow somebody on social. Why not just go out and be the one that people want to follow? No. First thing when you open your eyes, you got to get on Instagram. You got to get on fucking Twitter. You got to start following The Rock. What's The Rock doing this morning? If he's eating pancakes, I'm eating pancakes. If he's going for a 5-mile run, I'm going to watch him run on the video. I ain't fucking running, right? That's what people are saying. I ain't going on a 5-mile run, but I'll watch The Rock do it. Oh, what's Taylor Swift doing? Oh, Taylor Swift. Oh, she's going to be singing tonight. I got to watch Channel Fox 55. Right? And that's how we spend our whole fucking morning. Following people, to disagreeing with people, getting offended over shit, trying to start a movement, trying to cancel somebody. All that in a 3-hour day, right, baby? Oh, yeah, what a hell of a fucking morning. I'm proud of fucking Cody, bro. I don't know all the details, but I'm proud of that son of a bitch, man. Once you get off social, you realize you have all this time to conquer the world. By the way, this just came across my attention. I haven't read it yet, so let me just click on this. Brandi Rhodes addresses criticism of her AEW in-ring work. So let's talk about Brandi here. Brandi says, I'm in-ring at least 3 days a week. I'm in the gym 7 days a week, so I'm busting it as hard as I possibly can. And that's because I want to do well. I don't want to not commit to something. I just really want to be an actual contender, and I think that myself doing all the work, that just makes me more confident that when I do get back in the ring, that I know exactly what I'm doing. As far as the criticisms of Brandi, Brandi says this, I think people just assume that Brandi is Cody's wife, so he can just put her in whatever spot she wants to be in, and so she doesn't have to work hard, and probably doesn't even train very much. I know what I'm capable of. I think if you don't think there's going to be some sort of adjustment, you're crazy. No matter what your life looks like before that, it's a huge adjustment and a lot is going to change. She's talking about after becoming a mom. So just be patient with her. She's training 7 days a week. She's not hanging on her laurels because she's Cody's wife. When she comes back, she wants to show you that she belongs in a ring. All right. Let's see. I talked about in the Raw review earlier how I'm kind of disappointed that Dana Brooke has not improved the way we hoped she would in the last 5 years. Whereas Carmella, in the last 12 months, Carmella is leaps and bounds improving. I can trust Carmella in a 10-minute match. Dana Brooke in a 5-minute match, I kind of fucking cringe. That's not shade. That's the truth. If I'm a promoter and I need 10 minutes to be filled and Carmella's my only available slot, I'm saying, Carmella, get in there. So we'll see, man. Jade Cargill, for instance, has been leaps and bounds improving by the show. Can Brandi Rhodes do such? Time will tell, man. It'll be interesting to see what Brandi Rhodes can bring to the table when she does get back into that ring. And CM Punk, man, I'm not going to read I don't want to just read articles in this live stream, guys. CM Punk recently just did an interview where he said there is no more casual fans to him. And actually, I take that back. I am going to have to read at least a paragraph. This is what Punk says basically about the amount of fans that he brought over from WWE, overlapping or casual fans. Punk says this, I definitely think there's an overlap. I don't know if everybody who was a WWE fan came over here specifically just to watch me, but what I recognize in front of an AEW audience is an audience that I used to wrestle in front of prior to coming to WWE. A wrestling crowd. So he says there's wrestling fans, you know, and I will never understand the criticism of appealing to your fan base. If this is our fan base, give them what they want and everybody's happy. Now, I understand building a business. People talk about trying to get casuals here. I don't think there's casual wrestling fans anymore. My opinion, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe somebody at TNT is going to get mad because I'm saying this and am of this opinion, but our fans are wrestling fans, and we give them wrestling. I mean, I'm not seeing a lot of lies by CM Punk here, and he's even saying that I understand the business model, right? You have to have casual fans. You have to appeal to a broader audience because you want to expand. If you're just appeasing your base, you're never really going to truly grow. So that's what he's saying. But he's also saying, bro, if this is what got our base, then why the fuck are we going to totally 360 and have Shaquille O'Neal fighting the Big Show? When that's exactly what what drove people away from WWE. Shaquille O'Neal versus Big Show. And it looks like we're going to get that in AEW one day down the line. Or why do we have Snoop Dogg jumping off the top rope? That's the shit we laughed about in WWE. So he's saying it's that type. And I kind of respect that for sure, because I know what it takes to expand a YouTube channel, right? I can be nicer in my reviews. If I don't yell as much, I will get more viewers. People will stay longer, right? Because I'm calm and I'm nice and I'm smiling more. And we're talking calmly and gently, right? And I'm not yelling and I'm not negative and I can grow my base. But that's not what people love about BC. They love the fact that I am truthful and that my name, amplified, comes across the screen when I'm live. We get amplified. So no, even though I know I can get more subs and more viewership, I'm not going to change my ways. My base brought me to the dance, and I'm going to stand the fuck up for my base. That's basically what Punk is saying. So I kind of respect that shit, man. To be honest with you, for CM Punk to say that, man. And there's no love lost between Punk and I, but I respect that. But and he does acknowledge, like BC always says, you do have to get those casuals somehow. Even though he doesn't necessarily believe in the word casual anymore, I don't care what you call it. You have to try to get eyeballs that don't watch your product, maybe not even wrestling as a whole, and you have to try to get them to your product. Snoop Dogg jumping off the top rope has proven not to work. Shaquille O'Neal in a WWE ring did not work. It's probably not going to work in AEW. Actually, that one segment did get a little bump, but then nothing afterwards. So it was one of those in and out type things. So how much is that really helping your product, aside from one segment getting a little bit of a boost? I don't know, man. You're going to have to do something that captivates the world. The NWO storyline in WCW, for instance, that captivated the world. You heard about it when you were going to school. You saw the t-shirts. You heard people talking about it. You're like, what's going on? And you tuned into it and you were like, fuck, you were seeing people that didn't watch wrestling for years and they were like, fuck, this dude just joined the NWO. That's crazy. Macho Man is in the NWO. How the fuck? And you knew, man, I'm talking about one buddy specifically I knew hadn't watched wrestling for years. And one day he comes up, he's like, dude, can you believe Macho Man joined the NWO? And I was like, you started watching wrestling? He's like, how the fuck couldn't I? We need those type of stories back. It's not going to be Shaquille. It's not going to be Snoop Dogg. It's not going to be any of that. You know, we're going to have to get the stories that captivate. Bottom line, man, that's the shit that's going to bring people into a product. I just don't know what that would be in 2021. With the curtain pulled back, kayfabe is all but dead. But CM Punk has a point, man. That's your base. Placate to that. Play to that. But while you're doing that, you got to get uber creative. FTR called Tony Kahn a creative genius. This is where he's got to tap into some storylines that captivate the world, bro. But I did want to talk about that CM Punk theory that there's no real casuals anymore. You know, wrestling is where it's at right now, and everybody has pretty much picked a side, and they have to play to their base more than anything. What else do I want to get? Man, we covering a lot, man. We did just go over half an hour, but we talking about a lot, man. There's a lot of shit I'm trying to get to, man. And I don't always get to do these impromptu bonus lives, so I kind of want to get to everything right now. Stephanie McMahon was named one of the most powerful women in sports. You guys hear about that? Stephanie McMahon named one of the most powerful women in sports. Yet she doesn't give a fuck that the product is on its fucking deathbed. She won't stand up to the old fucking bastard. Triple H won't stand up. Triple H is tucking his fucking balls between his legs, too. Triple H is like, take my NXT. Fucking take whatever you want. Take all my wrestlers and release them. Fucking take a shit on me. Do what you gotta do. I just want to give me my money, man. I'll go to the bank with you and I'll cash in. They're just all cashing in. They have power, man. Stephanie has power in that fucking company. Triple H has power. They're too afraid to say anything to the old bastard. Fuck out of here, man. Randy Orton is set to break a pay-per-view record. What the fuck is that? How many bad pay-per-views can you fucking be in? Randy Orton is set to break the record for most appearances in a WWF/WWE pay-per-view. The Raw Tag Team Champion is currently tied with Kane at 176 and will surpass him at this Sunday's pay-per-view. And he's fucking being booked in a fucking tag team with Riddle, man. Matt Riddle. How do you have... If I'm booking a company, Randy Orton and AJ Styles are two of my fucking larger-than-life wrestlers. I'm going to book them as such. You are going to look at them as such. And you look at Styles and Randy Orton for the better part of this whole year. They're just fucking playing around in tag teams, bro. I just don't understand it. I know people think that RKO is funny and it's good for just for 2021, BC. No harm, no foul. I just don't understand with WWE being as bad as it is, how this is the best that you see AJ Styles and Randy Orton. I can't even fathom that this is the best they have for them. It's tragic for AJ Styles. Absolutely fucking tragic. Hold on, let me get to some fucking soups over here, man. Hold on, guys. Got some supers that came in during all this fucking ranting of all this news. So let me go back here. And Justin Jones and Papo Jr. I gave you guys a shout out at the jump of this, man, because I know you sent in a coffee before we even went live. And SOS TDM 617. I don't think I saw you in the last stream. So good to have SOS up in this bitch. 5-Spot Coffee. What up, BC? What up, dude? And Amp Unit. I missed y'all. I've been super busy working for the Patriots. Now, what did I miss from pro wrestling? Red Team, go! SOS, man. We covered a lot in that Raw stream. Hopefully you got to check that out afterwards. If not, go check that out. And we're going over a bunch of news right now, SOS. I think the Patriots won this week, didn't they? So congrats to your Patriots, man. My Packers, Aaron Rodgers came back. We also won. And by the way, I think Tom Brady's Buccaneers lost yesterday. So the Patriots get a W. The Bucs lose. I'm sure that makes you guys happy. Maybe you can tie up Tom Brady and the Bucs record, man. Patriots didn't get off to a good record. So anyway, SOS, I'm sure that was fun for you this weekend. Thank you, brother, for the coffee, and we're talking a lot of shit. Hopefully you're able to check it all out. Christopher Blackshear, $1.99. What up, Christopher? What has female face Roman Reigns done now? Well, Christopher, hopefully you caught the whole story that we went over, but she's basically blaming gender for why people are saying she's difficult to work with in the locker room. But a lot of those people look like the female she's working with, the Becky Lynches and such. They're saying that she's difficult to work with. It's not the fans. We don't know if she's difficult to work with. So women saying that, she's saying it's because she's a woman. That doesn't make sense. And then also, Christopher, in that same response that Charlie Flair gave, she's saying that, is it because she's a woman and it's difficult to work with that she's getting all of this kind of hate? But Wyndham Rotunda was deemed difficult to work with and he got released and he's a man. So that puts the gender issue to bed. Bray was also deemed difficult to work with and got released. Charlie still has a job. Enough with that shit. And she also had the fucking the JJs to say that, why is it because I keep getting championships or keep wanting to be champion? Is it because I'm a woman? No, we didn't like it when Roman was doing that for 5 years when he was a face that didn't connect with the crowd or the audience. We didn't like it then for him either, and he's a man. So it has nothing to do with gender. I mean, I just literally abolished that statement in about 10 minutes, Christopher, so I hope you heard that. Thank you for the contribution to the channel, man. Much love and appreciation. Joey's Adventures with a 2-spot. Asuka in AEW would be great for both her and Tony. Bro, I just said Joey's Adventures. They're missing a couple of puzzle pieces, right? We all can agree that AEW's women's division needs a few more puzzle pieces before it's really where we know it could be. But they're good so far as a foundation. Britt Baker, Jade Cargill, Thunder Rosa, Ruby Soho. They got a foundation already planted. Serena Deeb. Now, if you throw a fucking... oh, come on, man. Who am I thinking of? I want to give props over to Sheeta. I almost forgot. I don't know how I forgot Sheeta. Sheeta. I want to give her props. So that's a foundation for AEW. But if you were to add somebody like Asuka and another puzzle piece or two, Now we are talking. You could argue. You could be talking about one of the best women's divisions in all of pro wrestling. That's what I mean about just a few puzzle pieces could turn something that is not that great into absolutely great. And Asuka would fit there too. So anyway, Joey's Adventures. That just gets me excited just to think about that shit. Thank you, brother. Hey, Merrick. I haven't seen a Merrick in a second. Spot. I can finally catch a live stream. Here's a coffee. Hey, Merrick. I appreciate it, man. And I had a feeling that I hadn't seen you in several streams at least, so it's good to see you up in here. Thank you for the support, man. Much love and respect right back to you, and I'm glad you caught this, man. Jack Burton with a 199. I saw Jack in the last stream. TK and BC keeping my love of wrestling alive. Jack Burton, all kidding aside, man, that means a lot to me that you even put me in Tony Khan's league, because Tony Khan is igniting the wrestling world and the love that we have for it. So to put me in that conversation and that I'm igniting your love for pro wrestling, bro, Jack Burton, appreciate those words tenfold, man. Thank you. Hopefully one day I can run a promotion like Tony Khan, man. Don't have that kind of money. Maybe one day. Jack Burton, thank you. Weed Whackin' Willie, 2-Spot. What up, Weed Whackin' Willie? Did you hear about Bray's horror movie being made? Absolutely, bro. That'll be out before Tyler's Day 30, man. My movie got derailed by many things, and then the pandemic hit, and that totally took us out, but it's going to be made. I'm hoping to have my movie out before Avatar. That's taking 12 years to make. And I'm a one-man fucking crew over here. But, yeah, man, I'm happy for Bray, and hopefully they can make that, man. I think it's an independent movie, right? And I'm telling you firsthand, those are hard to get made. Because so much can go wrong and will go wrong, and you have to adapt and adjust. So I'm hoping that Bray's movie works much better than mine. And I'm so looking forward to it. I'm purposely not looking into too many details. I want to be surprised by the trailer and everything. So who better than Bray, bro? Who better than Bray to be in a fucking horror? I can't wait for that shit, by the way. Weed Whackin' Willie. Mr. Anything for Salinas. Mr. Anything, what up, man? Haven't got to say that in a minute. 5-Spot Coffee, you say she's a sweetheart, but just by her not selling, I always knew Charlotte had a huge ego and full of herself. Even The Rock had no problem selling. Yeah, no doubt, Mr. Anything. I say she's a sweetheart because I don't know her personally, and I know the friendships that she once had when she was on the way up in NXT, and everybody spoke so positively of one another. I like to think that that's the same Ashley Flair. But you're right, Mr. Anything. Something happened over the years, and I think maybe she started to believe her own shit. Maybe the criticism got to her, and she started becoming, like, too enclosed. But this does not seem like the same Ashley Flair. And the selling, I always ripped apart. You're right, Mr. Anything. I always noticed, and still to this day, when Charlotte Flair does not want to sell, Charlotte Flair will not sell. And it hurts matches. Because you know, like, somebody's just trying to work with her. It's your turn to go down. It's your turn to get beat up. And if Charlie doesn't wanna, she ain't gonna. There's only one other person in WWE that did it as much as her, and it was Nia Jax. She's no longer with the company. Nia Jax used to, when she didn't want to sell, she was not selling. That wasn't just an accident when she punched Becky's nose off before Survivor Series a couple years ago. That was Nia Jax not wanting 3 or 4 people on her back, and she turned around and she wabaka'd Becky with no fucking control whatsoever. So I'm not going to call that an accident. She knew she was going to lay in. I'm not saying she wanted to break someone's nose per se, but she knew she was going to she was going to get people off of her. And Becky was just going over to make it real. She was going to add on to the beatdown. But no, Nia doesn't want to work. And when Charlie doesn't want to work, Charlie doesn't work. She doesn't want to sell. She ain't selling. So you're right, Mr. Anything. That pisses the fuck out of BC, man, because it ruins matches. That's why weeks ago, do you remember when it was Nia versus Charlie? And I just sat back and laughed because here we go. 2 people that don't want to sell. And what happened afterwards? We started hearing reports that there was real heat. It went off the cusp. The match went off the rails because they literally were not selling for one another. And they were starting to throw in stiff blows. Who told you that was going to happen before? Me, BC. I told you that was going to happen before the match because I know how they work. Mr. Anything, that's a long-winded answer. Good to see you up in here, man. Carlos, what are you doing, bro? That 50 banger's enough. I told you no more. Carlos is a fucking dude, man. A flag bearer of the channel, dude. Carlos, Ray, 5-spot. BC, maybe Tony should just hire a PA guy and let him do interviews, not Tony. Or a PR, public relations. He could use probably a production assistant as well in a PA. But yes, get a fucking PR guy, man. I'm saying, Carlos, he doesn't need to do all these interviews. I love transparency and I love that he's willing to talk. But nobody should be talking that much unless you are a podcaster. Exactly, Carlos. Have a PR guy or just pick and choose your podcast a little bit better and a few and far in between. Maybe 2 a week instead of every day, it seems. And Carlos with another 5-spot said, oh, yes, Carlos, you actually corrected it, the PA with PR. Sorry, meant PR. I knew what you meant anyway. But he could use a production assistant as well because Tony Kahn, so he could use a PA as well because Tony Kahn has his hands in everything, bro. At least he's doing it the right way, unlike the old bastard in Stanford. But you like how I knew what you meant anyway, Carlos? That's what happens when you've been on the channel for so long, bro. I knew what you meant. And Carlos with another 5, bro. Come on, dude. I appreciate it, man. BC, but Cody does not seem happy where his wrestling career is at. He seems undecided about something. Fans are booing him, and he's not happy about it. Yeah, Carlos, that is a very good way of looking at it because I'm sensing the same thing. I think he wants to be... How do I say this? You guys know I love Cody, right? I take a lot of heat for that sometimes, but I love Cody. But I do feel like there's a little bit of cosplay in him sometime. I feel like half of him wants to be John Cena, and the other half wants to be Triple H. And I just wish that sometimes he would take that load off of his shoulders and just be Cody Rhodes. You don't have to be a next John Cena. You don't have to be the next Triple H. Be Cody Rhodes. So, Carlos, that is a great way to put it, bro. That is a great way to put it. And I absolutely agree with that sentiment. I've been noticing this for the last couple weeks, especially with this I don't want to turn heel, and now with the boo and the cheer. I think he's really looking at himself like the John Cena, and then he gets online and he sees the fucking, he's at one of those crossroads, no pun intended, but he's at a crossroads right now. You know, and maybe, don't be shocked, and this would be disappointing because I do like Cody, and I think he still has years left in the ring, but don't be surprised if this dude ever hangs it up in the next calendar year and just decides to go straight executive vice. Just be an executive, man. Just don that suit and tie 24/7. And that would suck because I do feel he's got more years left. But you never know, man. Great way to look at it, Carlos. Weed Whacking Willie with another 5-spot. Hold on, there's a lot more supers here. Let me get a fucking swig. I wasn't expecting this response for a 10-minute impromptu. 10 minutes of notice, and we went live with our second live of the day, guys. Damn. You guys are the best. Weed Whacking Willie with a 5-spot. Last night, Seth versus Balor was advertised at 7:30. By 7:45, all mention of it was deleted. That has to be some type of rewrite, right? Or rewrite record. Absolutely. But they were already promoting. The first promotion they had was actually Big E and Kevin Owens and some type of shit. And all we got was like this fast promo, and then they were just kept separately. So they've been doing this, and we already know Weed Whacking Willie. You want to talk rewrites. Vince McMahon has been said to rip up scripts minutes before the show. Fuck hours. Minutes. So yeah, I didn't see that advertisement for Seth versus Balor, but it does not shock me, Weed Whacking Willie. This is exactly what they've been doing, and this confuses everybody. And it's not the good type of fun confused. We're like, oh, we can't wait to see what happens next. No, this is the bad type of confused. You want to put your dope piece through the brick wall. Weed Whacking Willie, thank you. Deshaun Sanders, 5-spot coffee. That's funny. We were just talking about the word confused. Deshaun Sanders says, BC, I'm confused. Is KO a heel or a face or a heel face? He's a heel now, Deshaun. The heel turn was last week. He beat the shit out of Big E. This week, he told everybody in a promo, I'm going to be the bad guy everybody wants me to be. And then he walked away. And when Big E tried to go after him, the Usos jumped him. Kevin Owens was in the bad guy match this week with Finn Balor. So he's a heel now, man. That's what I mean. I mean, you're in this spot where I believe he signed. He re-signed with Vince McMahon, or he's going to. That's how I feel. But if he didn't, and this is Vince McMahon still buttering him up, you got to be careful, bro. You're turning him heel. This is the most momentum Kevin Owens has had in the last 6 months. He's beating people like Finn Balor last night. He's going to be in a title match with your world champion, and then you just let him go to AEW? You know, this is not like Mox, where he was, you know, he was in some main events because they were doing the Shield reunion because they wanted Roman Reigns to get some rub. They wanted Roman Reigns to be in the Shield where they know he's going to get cheered. Or Daniel Bryan, where he was actually part of creative before he left. Vince honestly thought he was going to stay. You know, this Kevin Owens situation, man, if you're going to give him the world and then he loses just one match against Big E, and then you let him go to AEW with all that momentum, bro, this is Vince McMahon fucking doing something stupid. But he could be. This could be still in the buttering up phases. I feel he already signed. But he's a heel, Deshaun Sanders. Jimmy Fingers 19, 15-19, Jimmy Fingers 19. What up, dude? I got nothing on my dome piece today, BC. Just mad respect and support for the amp unit. Bang! 3 coffees. Jimmy Fingers 19. I love that, bro. Nothing really to add except for love, support, and agreement by Jimmy Fingers, bro. Sometimes that's all that's needed. Jimmy Fingers 19. I really mean it, man. I appreciate that, dude. 3 coffees, and they'll all be fucking drank probably in a 2-hour span this week. The week that we're having, man. We just fucking extra amped this week. I just feel it, man. We could have 3 more live streams in the next 2 days. You never know. And thanks to Jimmy Fingers 19 and Carlos with the 50 banger earlier and all that shit, man, and all my supers, man, we might just do 7 more live streams this week. Fuck, we getting amped. Jimmy Fingers 19. Thank you, bro. Bakayuka, 10 spa. What up, Bakayuka? Hey, BC, great to see Zelina finally got out of character to do a 1-hour interview with Ryan Satin at WWE on Fox Channel. She totally carried the entire interview, man. You should go check that out. I didn't know she did that, man. I never really have time to YouTube too much these days. But if I get any time, I would love to hear Zelina, man. Who did that? Ryan Satin. Ryan Satin, huh? He does work for Fox still, huh? I thought he lost his job when Fox got rid of Backstage. Okay, well, maybe I'll check that out, man. Bakayuka, thank you for telling me about that, dude. I didn't know Zelina did. I love Zelina. You guys know that. I gave her much praise on the Raw review earlier. I thought people were just going to bash that, which I wouldn't give a fuck. Like Kevin Owens, I'll be the bad guy everybody expects me to be. But no, a lot of people actually agreed, which I love to see, people giving that girl some respect. You claimed you hated when she was jobbing out, and you laughed at her, and you said that's wrong, she should be booked better. And now Zelina has won the last 6 of her 7 matches. Zelina has won. Let's be happy for her. So I look at Bakayuka. Jimmy Fingers 19, a 10-19. I just thought of something, BC. I love it. This movie Bray is doing keeps him from showing up in AEW programming until 2022, just like you wanted. That way, when he appears, it has more impact. You're always on point. Jimmy Fingers 19, I thought of the same thing. And I know, as you said, I'm the one who thought of it originally anyway. But the second I heard about this movie, I went, oh shit, good. Whether they're still filming or not, you got to do promotion. You want to kind of put all your eggs into that basket right now. And Jimmy Fingers 19, the second I thought of that, I was like, good. We won't see him until after January of next year. I want Wyndham Rotunda showing up to AEW during WrestleMania season because I think that's the most impact to knock Vince McMahon off his keister, to wake Vince McMahon up from the fucking delusional coma that he has been in. Snap out of it and start giving us good television. Storylines, larger-than-life characters, feuds we give a shit about, make pay-per-views seem and feel like epic shit that we need to watch. And one of the best ways to do that is have somebody like Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt show up around WrestleMania season. You got to impact Vince McMahon where it hurts the most. WrestleMania season is his pride and joy. If you debut somebody like Wyndham Rotunda around WrestleMania season, that's going to take the focus off of Mania and Vince McMahon's product, and it's going to put it right on AEW. So Jimmy Fingers 19, no doubt. That's the first thing I thought of as well. My own fucking words. Thank you, brother, with the 1019 and the 1519. Enforcer 2K9, 2-spot, man. Enforcer 2K was contributing in the last stream a few hours ago as well. So much love over to Enforcer 2K9 in appreciation. Who's better than Wyndham? Question mark. Nah. Who's better than Canyon? Remember the old Canyon, man? Who's better than Canyon? Enforcer 2K9, I saw one of those, is it called Behind the, what's it called? What's it called, man? It's one of those documentaries. Behind the Ring, is it? What the fuck is it called? What the fuck is those shit? You ever see that documentary? It's like on A&E or Spike TV or like Vice. Anyway, there was a Canyon special on it, man, and it was really fucking kind of heartbreaking, man. You know, a lot of that shit I didn't know about. In this documentary that was done, it was thank you, guy. Dark Side of the Ring. Thank you. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. Behind the Ring? That makes no sense. Dark Side of the Ring, and it was a Canyon episode, man. And those things are always kind of depressing. I also saw one recently with Luna Vachon and many others, bro. And it's just like, damn, so much I didn't know about because I was still young back then as a fan. Anyway, Enforcer 2K9, my apologies. I'm going into left field with a hockey stick. Mentioning Canyon, I thought about that. But as far as who better than Wyndham, nobody for me. That's my top dude. I speak so highly of people like Jay Lethal. Bruh, Wyndham Rotunda, this is a Wyndham channel. A Bray Wyatt channel, this is a Wyndham Rotunda channel. Enforcer 2K9. Haley Lucas, what up? Haley Lucas, haven't seen Haley in several streams, I don't believe. 2-spot by Haley Lucas. Have Wyndham show up in AEW around Mania time. Now, Haley Lucas already sent that in before I even talked about it over Jimmy Fingers 19 Super. So Haley Lucas already knows the deal. And I'm sure most of my AMP unit, the hundreds watching now, the thousands that are going to catch this later, you guys know that that's the best way to bring back Wyndham. It was not at Full Gear. There's no reason to bring in Wyndham at Full Gear. No reason. That Full Gear card was packed, stacked from top to bottom, beginning to end, start to finish. There was no reason. 2022, Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. That's where AEW needs to knock the old bastard in Stamford, Connecticut upside down, put his head up his own fucking ass. What am I saying? It's already there. Try to fucking cram that shit out of his ass. Smack him around and wake him up. Well, Bray Wyatt showing up in AEW around Mania time? Yeah, that's going to slap him right across his fucking mug and hopefully wake them up. If that doesn't wake up the son of a bitch, nothing will. But Haley Lucas, absolutely that's the way to do it. Did I get everybody on this? Oh, man, we went over an hour, bro, on this impromptu. What? Oh, hold on. We got some more, man. Anise Sarwar's up in this bitch. What up, Anise? $4.99. Cody needs to channel his inner Randy Orton attitude. He'd be a kick-ass heel. He's very Orton-esque as a heel. I think that's where I started really loving Cody's work is when he was in the, I think it was called Legacy with Ted DiBiase Jr. And he was with Randy Orton, and he really fucking brought him along. And I'm like, wait. I even like Ted DiBiase Jr., to be honest with you guys. But I was like, this Cody dude he's got it. And when he was Stardust, I'm like, I don't give a fuck if his name is Stardust or not. Give him some shit. Give him cool storylines. This guy is a good wrestler. And now, man, I just feel like he's kind of lost, like Carlos said earlier, and I agree. I feel like, and I said these words, I feel like he half wants to be John Cena. The other half of him always wanted to be Triple H. I feel like he's got some power in AEW, so he can kind of do that, but he's still searching for his own identity. I just get that feeling, and you're right, man. Just be what you were trained to be, man. Be your own cerebral assassin. Be your own Viper, more than anything. Cody has so much more to offer. I don't even think you guys realize what he can tap into. Anyway, who the fuck? Well, Anise, totally agree, man. Monte El Relapongo. Monte L, what up, dude? 499. Cody wants to be a weird mashup of Triple H, Cena, and The Miz. Yeah, Monte. I don't know about The Miz. Maybe with the reality show and everything too. And Cody always knew that The Miz was the ultimate company guy, and that's why Vince McMahon has pretty much deemed The Miz has a job for life. So maybe you're right. You can add some Miz in there. But no doubt, Monte L, there's some Cena and Triple H that he desperately tries to tap into. And I think that comes from in WWE, he never really was seen in that light. And he always wanted that respect from Vince. And even Triple H. And even Cena maybe. But he was probably always looked at as just that mid-card guy. And now he's in this promotion. He's really trying to show everybody. But Montiel, I definitely get that. Watch it. And then I love Cody, man. I've said that already several times, man. So that's just my what I'm seeing in Cody. Jack Burton, $4.99. I heard Omega to have shoulder surgery and suffering from vertigo. 6-month recovery expected. I can see Cole versus Hangman in the future. Me too. Now, first you have to go Daniel Bryan Hangman. Right? Bryan Danielson, I'm sorry. It's going to take me a minute. Bryan Danielson won the Eliminator tournament. So next up, guys, when is Danielson and Hangman happening? Do we know yet? Do we think we know yet? Before I keep going. Thank you, by the way, man. I just saw 200 on the ups. I forgot to even mention that in the last hour. Thank you guys on the ups. Everyone who took a moment to smash that. We're headed toward 300. That helps the algorithm. Thank you. When is, JR9, man. Thank you, bro. No date has been announced. Okay, so JR9, when do we think it's going to be? Do we even think? Do we know? Or is this just totally up in the air? The first show on TBS. That could be. What's the date on that? JR9, that could definitely be, bro. I bet you. And that's the type of shit that Tony Khan does. What's the date on that? That wasn't January 1st, right? January. Is it January 8th? January 8th. Oh, there is no date. Hold on. There's no date on the TBS? All right. Well, I'm not going to hold up the stream. The point is, whenever that happens, that's the first one, man. Bryan Danielson has to be the first. Now, who the fuck? How do you book that? Hangman has to keep the belt, right? I mean, even if he's transitional, you can't have him lose the very first night. So how does Bryan... I'm putting the booker on you guys, man. I don't give a fuck if this is too hard for you. You're part of the amp unit. Sometimes things are going to be difficult. If you're booking, how do you have Bryan... How do you book this match? Who wins and loses and how? Come on. I'm putting you guys to work. Because I truly don't know, by the way. I'm not just quizzing you guys. I haven't even began to think how you book that. I would have thought if you're going to have Hangman win it, then wouldn't Miro beat Bryan Danielson and then Miro takes... So Miro gets a big win over Danielson and then Miro loses against the champion. And then you could set up Adam Cole in the future. Trev Reigns, no contest. That's true. But then if it's no contest, wouldn't Bryan Danielson get another match? A draw, Iron Riaz. Yeah, but doesn't he get another match? A count out, I guess that would end Bryan Danielson's... Yeah, I guess that would end that. So the beginning of January, I think, is the TBS show you guys are telling me. I forgot the exact date myself, so I got to go back and look. Jack Burton says Hangman just wins clean. It'll be huge. It's funny because Bryan Danielson said, CM Punk is here to help the kids. I'm not. I'm here for the belt. I'm not here to help anybody. I don't give a fuck about them. I'm here to stomp the kids in their fucking teeth. So it's funny that Bryan Danielson, at least storyline-wise, he doesn't give a fuck about helping the kids. Yeah, Ramswood, triple threat, right? Do some WWE booking. Add another dude in there. Have them take the fucking pin. That's funny. Marie Applewhite just says Hangman over Danielson. Just pin, I guess. DeMonte, Hangman wins via submission. Damn, bro. DeMonte's just going balls to the wall. Let's just make Hangman the dude. Because that would be one of his biggest, right up there with actually winning the title. If you're going to make Bryan Danielson tap, that is right up there with winning the title from Omega. I don't give a fuck. Bakayuka says Bryan will lose and that will submit Hangman Page's first title reign as champion. Yeah, but if it's a counter, I don't know, man. I mean, it would have to be unequivocal. I mean, like there would have to be no shadow of a doubt. Otherwise, Bryan Danielson just gets a rematch. I don't know. A lot of you guys have great answers, man. I don't know how you book this. You have to make Bryan Danielson strong because there's so much epic wrestling matches for him in the future that he can't just start losing big matches now. And he's going to have to here. I don't see how, even if he's transitional, he can't lose his first title match. Hangman has to walk out with this son of a bitch. Iron Riaz has a good idea. If you make that a first blood match and Bryan Danielson just gets busted up, that kind of saves face. Like, that's just unfortunate. They were going to war. They were having a banger. And Bryan Danielson just got fucking busted open. Man, that's bullshit. So, I mean, there is good ideas for sure, man. You guys know what I would love. And I don't hide this. I've said it a million times. Omega, Bryan Danielson in the future somehow. I don't care how we get there. Bryan, Omega, title on the line, 60-minute Iron Man match. That's just a dream match personified for BC. But hold on. Let's go back to I got Monte, I got Jack Burton. Yeah, Jack Burton. And on the shoulder surgery, man, all the best to fucking Omega, man. Get that taken care of, and he's gonna be the same Omega we know. He's gonna go full throttle when he comes back. Don't worry, this ain't gonna fucking deter this dude. And as far as the vertical, man, a lot of people, including BC this week, man, my don't piece was all over the place, man. A lot of people getting fucked up. I know sinuses are a big culprit as well. I don't know how you guys have been this season, but this has been horrible for fucking sinuses and shit. So vertigo is not fun. And if Omega does have that as well, nothing but the best, man. I wish him the speediest of recoveries. Because that sucks. Jimmy Fingers 19, another 10-19. Bro, Jimmy Fingers 19. As for KO, if you look at that storyline, Biggie and everyone else are the jerks. KO is the sympathetic figure here. His apologies were authentic. This heel turn is forced. Well, he's trying to be like, I tried to do everything the right way. I thought I was being the fucking good guy. And everywhere I turn, I'm getting screwed over or people are looking at me in a way where I'm not. The perception that you're giving me, Big E. So you're kind of right, Jimmy Fingers. He literally said in that promo Monday, he said, your perception of me is basically what everybody now sees. Perception is reality is the same words that he used. But you know Jimmy Fingers 19. I mean, when you beat the shit out of the world champion like he did last week and the powerbomb on the apron like Kevin Owens did to Sami Zayn in NXT when he turned heel, and then you beat somebody, a hero, a favorite like Finn Balor, and you do a promo like you cut on Big E and then you turn and walk away. I mean, these are all the heel things. So forced or not, the dude's heel and he's got the most momentum that he's been fucking with in the last 6 months. I mean, you look at the booking before this, Kevin Owens was in a 30-second segment stunnering Ninja Tozawa and not saying a word. It was weird as hell. He was in several segments, 30-second segments, getting beat up by Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin. And we were like, what is this leading to? This is weird. And that's because there was contract negotiations between Vince McMahon and Kevin Owens. They didn't know if he was going over to AEW. Now it looks like McMahon knows he's going to stay, or McMahon has totally lost it and is off his rocker. He's going to give Owens a huge push, and then he's going to send him to AEW. I don't know. Jimmy Fingers 19. That's a long-winded answer like I usually fucking give. Thank you, brother. Javi Woo 31, 2-spot at work, and I see BC again on the same day. Great. Javi Woo 31, twice in one day, bro. I was just feeling it today, man. I'm like, you know what? I feel like dishing out some bonus BC. I'm going to let my unit have an extra bonus BC vid. Let's just do it live. 2 fucking lives one day. I'm loving this, bro. I'm having the time of my life right now, man. I'm just shooting the shit with what I love to talk about with great fucking people, man. Come on, bro. Javi Woo 31. Thank you for catching both of them. Haley Lucas, and thank you for the kind words too, Javi Woo. Much love and respect. Haley Lucas, 5-spot coffee. Haley with her second super, by the way. There could be a lot of big signings and debuts in AEW between now in Mania time. Great point, Haley, because it's not just Wyndham that I'm resting WrestleMania season on for Tony Khan and AEW. I want everyone to know that now. So Haley Lucas brings up a great point. Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, should be one of several puzzle pieces that you have ready to be put in place. But he should be one of the big ones. But absolutely, Haley Lucas is correct. There needs to be a couple more puzzle pieces as well. And starting after January 1st, we need to start putting them in play. And I'm telling you, man, you do this as you lead up to Mania. And just like last year where AEW was actually stealing a lot of headlines from Vince McMahon, and we heard the reports that McMahon was kind of pissed. Like, why is everybody talking about them? This is Mania season. This year, I want the same thing to happen, but tenfold. And somebody like Wyndham and like Haley says, man, there could be other signings. Now, where do you put everybody? AEW's roster is so packed. But who knows? Maybe between now and January, February, maybe some people get their contracts come up. Tony Khan already said he's not going to re-sign everybody. So maybe some other people have to look for other work. I hate to see that. But bro, that company it's about to burst. There's so much talent. One of my favorite wrestlers in the world is Jay Lethal. I don't even know what they do with him. I don't even know what they do with him, man. Adam Cole is playing around in fucking 6-person schmaz matches. Adam Cole, baby. One of the head guys in NXT. He's in fucking 6-man schmazes. Christian has been reduced to just making a save every week. I mean, I don't know where you put everybody, man. It was great to see Orange Cassidy back in play this past week. Orange Cassidy for weeks was just fucking in people's corner. You know, you kind of forgot about Orange Cassidy. You can go on and on. It's just like, I don't know where everybody goes, but I just know that come WrestleMania season, man, Tony Khan has to put his best product forward. He's been so good since the inception of AEW. Come January 1st, this has to be the 3 best months of AEW short history. I know that may sound dramatic, but it has to be. This is where, January to March next year, this has to be the moment where AEW punches McMahon right in the dome piece. Play-by-play with Lazarus. I don't think I got the whole, hold on. I don't know if I got the whole name there. Play-by-play with Lazarus Awakened. I had to get the whole name in there. Thank you for that 5-spot coffee. Play-by-play. Wyatt Bryan, once joining AEW, will be the Undertaker to bury WWE. So you're saying Wyatt, once he joins AEW, he'll be like the Undertaker to bury WWE. He's going to be one of the big pieces, as I just aforementioned, play-by-play. It's huge if they can get him. Huge on so many levels. Not the fact that he can put on good wrestling matches. For every other category, he checks off every box. So I'm not saying he's as a big of a star as The Undertaker, but I do agree that it would be massive play-by-play. Massive. Not even being overdramatic or overplaying this situation. I'm not at all. That's the absolute truth. So absolutely play-by-play. JR9 Gaming, 2-spot. You hear today's rumors that NXT may become TV-14 soon. A couple of things. JR9 Gaming, first of all, thank you for the love, brother. You know, you definitely don't have to at all, man. I appreciate that. So 3 things. That's 1. Number 2, I wanted to talk about that and totally forgot. So JR9, thank you for reminding me of that. And number 3, let me elaborate. NXT going TV-14. This is exactly the opposite of what we originally thought when we saw the bright fucking colors. Like Bob Ross just fucking did a massive painting on everything with fucking 10 seconds notice. And it literally looked like an explosion, a marriage of sorts between the Cartoon Network and the Nickelodeon Network. And they just had some sexy time and busted out 2.0. Literally and figuratively busted out 2.0. I mean, it looked god-awful. It looked fucking horrendous. It looked like it was just going to be promoted to 5-year-olds. But lately, I'm starting to see and hear more kind of adult-oriented entertainment, if you will. Then you see TV-14 and the rumblings of that, and it's like, is that really what they're going to go for? Are they going to try to now say, the colors were for the kids, the content will now be for the teenagers? Does that work? Isn't that contradicting? Does anybody give a fuck? Would that care for you guys, man? In the chat. If it goes to TV-14, do you watch NXT? Or maybe you already watch NXT. So let me take a little bit of a poll right now without actually doing the poll. I'm just going to ask you guys. If it goes TV-14, will you become a faithful NXT watcher? Yes or no? In the chat. Thank you, Jer9 Gaming, for bringing that up. And you're right, Jer9. Toxic Attraction just screams TV-14, no doubt. And you could do a lot more with Mandy Rose, bro. But a lot of people just saying no. I can't really get behind it because it's not the NXT I once knew and loved. Some people are saying maybe, though. Like IKEA Haywood saying maybe. Wrestling Reeds just says, I don't give a shit. I love it. That's kind of, Wrestling Reeds, I kind of agree. But some people just watch. Carlos, don't you watch it, right, Carlos? Is Carlos still here or no? Sometimes Carlos has to take care of some biz and comes in and out. But I think Carlos said that he actually watches it, just habit and hope. So I know some people still watch it because it's just what we've always done. JR9 still watches too, okay. Now, JR9, be honest, man. 1 to 10, 10 being the best. How is that show now? Because I don't watch it full and through, man. I only get everything I need to so I can know what I'm talking about during these reviews. 1 to 10, 10 being the best. JR9, how do you rate NXT? Or is that too hard to rate? Carlos says it's out of 5. So Carlos admits it's got a whole hell of a lot of room to improve in. Ty Guy says 7.5. That's actually pretty higher than what I would have said. JR9 says 7 out of 10. So I am seeing some 7s. So Carlos is a little bit more critical, man. He might be looking at it like BC, a little bit more harsher. IKEA Haywood says -10. Smurfy Tunes has a 5 out of 10. Marie says 4. And Jacob says 6. Iron says -15. War Dog's up in this bitch. What up, War Dog? 8 out of 10. So basically, a lot of you guys are all over the place. I don't know. To go back to JR9's point, in talking about the TV-14, and if it does become TV-14, I do have to admit, I have to at least watch that first couple of shows. I want to see if it drastically is going to make a difference. Is there a plan? Is there reasoning behind it? I want to see for myself, who are they really appealing to or trying to appease? So, JR9 Gaming, thank you for bringing that up, dude. That was actually one of my talking points that I just got lost in forgetting because the supers, there was way more than I thought there was going to be for my second stream of the day. So, JR9 Gaming, thank you, man. That's my initial thoughts on it. We got to see if that actually comes true, man. I'll be down for it. I love TV-14 wrestling, so let's do it. I just think it's also contradicting with all the bright colors, like you're fucking appeasing 5-year-olds, and now all of a sudden you want the 18 to 21-year-olds. Jimmy Fingers 19, 519. I want the super chat title today, BC, and I am going to do it with a finger poke of doom finisher. Jimmy Fingers 19. The championship is not on the line. However, you are absolutely, like Carlos, man, holding the flag bearer of the fucking channel today. But Jimmy Fingers 19, you want to do the poke of doom finisher? Why not the fruit roll-up? The fruit roll-up will easily get you any championship you desire. It'll get you any victory. Nobody kicks out of the fruit roll-up, Jimmy Fingers 19. Not even the finger poke of doom. Jimmy Fingers 19. In all seriousness, man, all the supers, Jimmy Fingers 19, much appreciate that, man. Jack Burton 199. Omega said he's wrestled with Vertigo the last 3 years. I didn't know that, bro. Wow, that's not cool. I don't know if you guys know what the fuck Vertigo is, but your world's basically spinning. Imagine wrestling like that. Bro, man, Jack Burton, I didn't know that shit, man. I feel for that dude. And he still came out the last 3 years as one of the best wrestlers in the fucking world. And I stand by that. If you're just a Kenny Omega basher, I am the beholder, man. This isn't the channel to say that bullshit, bro. Kenny Omega, whether you think he was the #1 wrestler in the world last year or you think it was Roman Reigns, you have to admit Kenny Omega is one of the best wrestlers in the world. His body of work tells us that. And to wrestle with Vertigo for 3 fucking years and you're still one of the best? Mad props to Kenny Omega. Sadiqa Flowers. I haven't seen Sadiqa Flowers in a mad minute. 5 Spot Coffee. What's up, BC? What up, Sadiqa? Good to see you live. What happened to all your hair? Well, I shave it in the summertime, so that'll be growing back sometime this winter. And I just decided to shave the fucking beard too. As you can see, that's already grown back too. I don't know, Sadiqa. I try to go to Florida leading into October too, so I like to get the tan totally, man. You can't have the beard interfere with the tan. So, and I would like to get back to Florida maybe within the next couple of weeks for a couple of days, man, before it gets colder down there. Not too cold, but sometimes Florida, when you hit December, you know, you ain't got too many more pool days. Anyway, Sadiqa, good to see you. Much love and respect. I think I got everybody, man. Damn, you guys came to fucking talk. That was great. I came on with 10 minutes. 10 minutes of fucking warning you guys that I was going live for the second time within 2 hours. And you guys showed the fuck up. In fact, that actually wasn't even it, man. Hold on. There's some more, guys. Derek Fleming Jr. with a 199. What did Charlie do now, BC? Question mark. Smiley face emoji. What did Charlie do now, Derek Fleming Jr.? She's playing the gender card. I'm not going to go over it again, Derek Fleming Jr., but if you didn't catch the start of this live stream, when I'm done with this, go back to the beginning, maybe the first 10 to 15 minutes, I think it is, and we're going to talk all about Charlie Flair, what she said. Becky Lynch had to respond, and she called Charlie out on her response. Oh, yeah, we got a little bit of a war of words, man. So Charlie is just answering questions, just asinine. She's not looking at the facts, and instead she's playing a card that she should not be playing. So Derek Fleming Jr., thank you for the Superman. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the coffee. Go back when this is over and check that out, man. We talk about it in detail. Chris Murray, 5 Spot. No words needed, just showing the love. Chris Murray, thank you, dude. Chris, much love and respect. Otis Linkman, 5 Spot Coffee. What up, Otis? Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman had a ton of ideas for WWE, but Vince McMahon shot them down, I was told. So what's the point of creative in WWE? Otis, you bring up a good point, and you know what I'm going to say. You're exactly right. Eric Bischoff has admitted that Vince McMahon shot him down every which way. Paul Heyman has admitted Vince McMahon shot down all his ideas. And that's why I say, like, when everybody blames Bruce Pritchard, there's no doubt that people have beef with Brucey and Johnny and Kevin and Nick Khan, not Tony Khan, Nick Khan, Vince McMahon's right-hand man. There's no doubt the yes men, there's beef with the yes men, right? And a lot of the wrestlers look down at the yes men because the yes men look down at them. But when I'm blaming somebody, I blame one person, Vince McMahon, because of what you just said, Otis. Because everybody has come out and said he shoots down everything we have. It's all him. It's all on him. Kevin Owens just reiterated that. He just did an interview last week, and Kevin Owens said he was supposed to go to NXT last year. The reason he didn't is because Vince McMahon came at the last second and squashed all of those creative plans. And Vince McMahon said, no, you're coming over here. And he got lost in obscurity. How many wrestlers need to come out and tell you this? How many former creative directors need to come out and tell you Vince McMahon is running everything from top to bottom? I mean, that's what you got to understand, man. Otis Linkman, no fucking doubt, bro. Smurfy Tunes, 5 Spot Coffee, Smurfy Tunes. How many title matches did Carmella get when she lost? WWE is so backwards these days. Claymore Party, go! Smurfy Tunes, the Claymore Party. You're exactly right. So Flair starts talking about, okay, she loses the title. Why is it such a bad thing that she's always going right back for it and getting it? Well, Smurfy Tunes brings up a good point. Whether you like her or not, Carmella. When Carmella lost the championship, she just didn't go right back to it, win it again, lose it, win it again, thrust it into all the main events. I mean, there was a few times where she was in matches where we felt Asuka should have been, or Sasha Banks, or Ember Moon even. At the time, Kairi Sane, no doubt. But not even Carmella was booked like that. So you're exactly right, Smurfy Tunes. Everything Charlotte said in her response to being difficult to work with and why she thinks people feel that way, everything she said got fucking exposed to be untrue. Smurfy Tunes, I appreciate it, man. Claymore Party! Do you want one Claymore, 2 Claymores, or do you want a whole several Claymore Party? I can deliver them all night. I can deliver 1, 2, 3, 10 Claymore parties. As long as you keep the drinks flowing, you're going to get a Claymore party. Drew McIntyre. He doesn't get too many promos anymore talking about the Loch Ness Monster and bedtime stories where he whips out Angela his sword and starts chopping off Godzilla and King Kong. Too funny. Chris Underwood, $4.99. Just poured myself a cup of coffee. And here's the Ant-Man doing a stream. It's my weekend, so I'm glad I can drop in for a few and say what's up. Chris Underwood, haven't seen you in a minute, man. Good to have you up in here. I appreciate the coffee, and I'm glad that you just poured a nice hot beverage. You just poured a nice hot cup of coffee. And you enjoy not just the Ant-Man, but your weekend, bro. I appreciate the words, and thank you for taking just a moment, a fucking small portion of your weekend, and spending it with the unit in BC. Chris Underwood, I really do appreciate that, dude. I think I got everybody. Hopefully you guys had fun in this stream, man. An hour and a half. What the fuck? Time flies when you're having fun, man. I had a blast. I hope you guys did too, man. Alex Hood, I've always lost. You know that, bro. Much love. The Claymore party. Much love to all you guys. Thank you for all of you guys that took a moment to send BC a coffee. I appreciate it. It's never needed, trust me, but it's always appreciated. And everybody that took a moment to smash that up, that greatly helps out the algorithm later. So I thank you for everybody that sent this thing into almost 300 on the up column. I appreciate you guys, the hundreds that watch live, the thousands that'll be coming up and watching this when I put this up on the channel. All of you. I can't say thank you enough. 2 streams in one day, totaling over 4 fucking hours of content. We are the machine in the YWC. Nobody is on our level. They can try to get on it. Well, they can't get there. Much love, guys. Anise, Carlos, Jennifer Pierce, what up, Jennifer? Wrestling Reed, Smurfy Tunes, NJPW Girl, Trev Rains, Santivia Major, Ty Guy Fly, MG Jaws, Tony Pardita, Alex Hood. I got Carlos Ray, right? Carlos. Mr. Black Ice 22 was up in this bitch. Fuck yeah. Beast Morgan, Renee G, The War Dog. Woo, Marie Appleway. IKEA Haywood, Eddie JR9 Gaming. Damn, Smurfy Tunes I got. I know I did. Oh, fuck, it's going fast now. Damn it. Monique S. Fury 9000. DeMonte Mabry. Ramswood. Red Team Go. Bakayuka. I can't get everybody, guys. I'm just trying as this thing goes kind of fast. James Miller, Enforcer 2K9. Oh, man, you guys are the best, man. Chubless the Bear at the last second, by the way, with that 2 spot and all the coffees. Chubless the Bear, thank you, dude. Much love and appreciation to Chubless the Bear. Always one of my tried and trues, man. I caught that shit coming in late. Santivia Major, TKG, Jimmy Fingers 19, Red Team Go. Jimmy Fingers 19, Connie Carroll, Brian Ernie. Oh, damn. Chris Underwood. Bro, all my supers, man, that got BC a coffee, man. You guys are the best. Everybody, as we go toward 300 on the ups, thank you. And that's it, man. That's where BC's going to call it for now. Don't get it twisted just because we did 2 live streams in one fucking day. Don't be shocked if there's another one within the next 48 hours, brah. I'm feeling amped to the max this week. Mikhail. Dante Jaron, C.T. Hill, Christopher Lloyd, Notorious Nikki Smith, SOS, all my amp unit. We'll check you guys. Much love and respect, man. I had a blast. Thank you, guys. War Dog, relax, BC. We'll be here another 2 hours later. Salute, guys. Much love. What a time, man. What a blast. Check you. Check you.